Well, hello and welcome to Little Stage Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co-host Tracy.
Hey y'all.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm chugging along. I have things to do. I have errands that I have to complete by the end of the day today.
Hmm.
So there's no sleep till Brooklyn, as they say.
Girl, I none. And then I'm like completely thrown off. Like I was telling you before we got on, my schedule is just completely messed up. All things, going crazy. But it's the end of the year, and
hmm
you get that little bit of sluggishness because there's just so much activity. So much.
Yeah, there is. And I think that I've been hearing, and maybe it's because I feel this way, I'm also hearing it. A lot of people just saying that this year they just were not feeling Christmas. They just were not feeling like the holiday season period, and not even Christmas because not everybody celebrates, but even Thanksgiving, people just were like they just feel so like over it and ready for the holidays to come and go. And don't get me wrong, I love the holidays. I love spending time with my family, but I too did not go
Hmm.
hard as I normally do. Like as far as like themes and decor and let me
Hmm.
put a menu together and all of that wasn't there. It was like I was running on fumes when it came to the holidays this year.
Okay. I mean, well, of course, we know I don't celebrate Christmas, but uh, I think every year I'm always a little festive. Well, I just like the lights and stuff, and I like all the goings on, and I love going to see, my family at any time. So I did enjoy it, but now I'm just getting tired.
hmm
It's a lot going on, and still, you got still more days to come, and I was just thinking about. I think a lot of what people probably are feeling is that 2025 was a fucked up year. Let's
I
be
think
honest.
that's it. I think there's just been so much negativity. I mean, there have been positives, of course, but the constant, overwhelming weight of the negativity has been a lot. It's been taxing, and that's the thing. It's like, little bit by little bit by little bit, just like more and more and more. It's like if you're holding a 5 pound weight, it doesn't feel that heavy. But if you add
Mhm.
five more pounds, 5 more pounds, it's like every month 5 more pounds is added and it just feels so heavy. I'm like, come on, 2026, come through. They're saying year of the snake. We're supposed to be shedding all that
Oh,
does not serve us. I'm here for it. Let's go, year of the snake. Let's go.
I'm hoping that is, but I'm going to remind people, if you want change, you got to be part of the change.
Yeah.
Join a group, get involved in politics. I know a lot of people don't like it, but if you want to change and not feel like you did this last year, because this last year was just fuckery on 10. And we
hmm
don't want a repeat of that. And I think we're all saying, Tracy and I were talking about like what we wanted to leave behind in 2025. We can start with like five, but number one is always going to be Donald Trump in this administration.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to be. I was lit before I we got on. I was just kind of like just scrolling through threads, and I was seeing that in Minnesota that this guy who claims he's a reporter, he's not a reporter, but was going to Somalian businesses and saying that they are committing fraud, and like their businesses saying that they run a daycare but there's no children in sight. Well, first of all, you can't just go to a daycare and have access to their children. That's how
Right.
people get shot, especially if you're a white man. Stop playing with us. And so, but it made me think about like, certain groups, Hispanics, Muslims, now Somalians, and Haitians, who really fell for Donald Trump's rhetoric and believed that this man was for him. And the way that this administration is coming for these groups so hard, I mean, banning them from coming into the country, even if you are legal, they are picking you up at, your immigration meetings, does not want you. I hope it's unfortunate that we had to go through a lot of this, but I hope that people have learned that all the shit that black women and black people, black men were telling you about what the difference was, and you was hee-hawing and saying that we weren't true and throwing on those MAGA hats. I hope that this pain, I hope it's lasting and that you don't fall for this again, because this is insane and a lot of people are in danger. And so
And it's
that's why 2025 is so exhausting. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm piggybacking off of what you said because this is a great segue for me before I talk about what I want to leave behind. Just talking about, because I do want to leave him behind too, but I feel like I should say something else so that we
Mhm.
can also have, another thing that we want to leave behind. But I just want to point out that right now, if you're watching BBC News, if you're watching NPR, if you're watching, global news, Honduras is was in the midst of a presidential election that was undecided up until like a few days ago. And how this ties into your point, Shahida, about leaving this man behind because we're so tired of him. He has his hands everywhere, including Honduras. So all the Hondurans who might have said like, oh, we're Catholic and we want to support Donald Trump because he's anti-abortion and he's this, that, and the third, and they believe he's a man of God because he's out here Bible thumping. Let
Mm.
me
Good
help you
God.
understand. He stole y'all's election too. He
Mm-hmm.
stole your election as well. So the same way he came in and tampered with our election and plans to tamper with elections going forward, even the ones that he's not involved in, we must pay attention. He literally is quoted as saying that if his candidate that he backed for the Honduran presidential election did not make it, if his candidate did not win, why he has a candidate in Honduras is beyond me. Obviously, ulterior motives for him. He said that there will be hell to pay. Okay, so you worry about the United States. We have a lot going on over here, but he also threatened to pull funding and US support from Honduras as well. So again, America's out here funding these other countries, sending money to other countries, but you're complaining we don't have money to do for American citizens. I'm of Honduran lineage, and my thing is like, why are you sending money down there anyways? What
Mm-hmm.
for what? For
Mm-hmm.
something in return. So obviously,
There's something in
but
return.
so you're manipulating. And Honduras, in case people didn't know, just a little historical fact, they had their first ever female president in 2021. Her name is Xiomara Castro. She had her faults too. You know what I mean? She was not a perfect president. When I was there in March, there was a plane crash that happened on the island where I was staying off of Honduras. And the hospital that was supposed to be built, there's a new hospital they were supposed to be building there. You know, the people are blaming her for not having that hospital ready when it was supposed to be ready. And as a result, after this huge plane crash, they actually had to take people who were involved in the accident all the way to the mainland instead of being able to get care right off the coast of where the plane crashed. So, again, was she the best president Honduras ever had? No, but even Honduras could see that there could be value in having a female president. And in 2025, 2024, I should say, America still cannot see the way to having a country led by a woman, we would not be in the situation we are in right now. I promise you that. We would not be here.
Mm-hmm. No, no, we would not. And unfortunately, like you said, other countries have managed to do it and did well. But
Yes,
we are, and I don't want to go off on a tangent
me
about
neither.
about this, but I do want to say one thing. And a lot of people have been posting about how other countries have a slower pace, um, a more relaxed lifestyle because they don't have the worries that Americans have. Like when it comes to health insurance, we go into debt, lose our homes and everything over health insurance because people can't afford health insurance and food and, just in colleges. And now they're going to start what next month? They said they're going to start garnishing
Garnishing.
payments of, and you think about all these people he has pardoned, like the biggest drug dealer to come out of, I think it is Venezuela. And he was a big cocaine dealer here in the United States. And this man pardoned him. So don't tell me that there's a war on drugs. There's just a war on drugs when it's small black people or brown people. That's the only time. So, but the thing is that we would be so much farther as a country if there was not one group of us that, because they can't hoard it all to themselves, they refuse to let, and no matter how poor they are, they refuse to let other people enjoy healthcare,
Hmm.
enjoy, not having to spend so much money on daycare. Here we are, we want to produce all these children, and daycare is astronomically priced compared to other countries. And if you travel, if you go someplace else, or if even if you just pick up a goddamn book, like read something. God damn it, we're so stupid. It's just mind-boggling to me, but it is what it is, and we're gonna just leave that for a minute because again, we'll be picking it back up because nothing's gonna stop when it's
Oh
2020
yeah, I'm sure he
26.
has some good BS planned for us in Q1. I know he does. But anyway, what do I want to leave behind in 2025? Um, what do I want to leave behind? I would say I want to leave behind social media that doesn't serve me. So I'm not going to get off of social media. I mean, it's part of
Mhm,
keeping our viewers informed. So I'll be out there definitely keeping you guys posted. But I'm definitely going to be more discerning about how much energy I'm spending on socials because a lot of it is not time well spent. And so for me, I'm trying to be more intentional, especially with the ramp up of so many deep fakes, so many
mhm,
AI generated videos, and they're getting better at it. So
mhm,
I can right now I can kind of tell what's fake and what's not, but that line is starting to, blur even more. So my concern is that I'm going to see things, I'm going to believe things that are not true, and I'm just like I need to like pull back a little bit from
mhm.
certain social media and some of the things that I'm looking at that are not important, and leaning more into reliable news sources for important global information.
Same for me. And I've been saying it all year that I've been trying to like watch my Apple phone, and tells me at the end of the week how much time I spent
Yeah.
not doing anything. And then you realize it takes away from, certain goals you might have, certain projects you might want to do. Like you be like, I don't have time. No, when you look at your phone at the end of the week, you really do have time. You really have a
Yeah.
lot more time.
It's
And
very telling.
it is, but it's like I was thinking the other day because I was trying to sit down and I was trying to work on this project, and I just did not want to sit in the quiet and concentrate. Whereas that used to be easy for me. But now, every 10 minutes I was picking up the phone, or, it took away. So a project that might have taken me an hour and a half to start and finish took me like 3, 4 hours because I kept stopping to look at my phone, which is
Hmm.
utterly ridiculous. So that is a goal of mine as well, to and it's also about touching more grass. We talked about that, and I always go back to that TED Talk Roxbury, when
Yeah.
that woman said about us being outside and enjoying outside. And I did a lot more of that this year, not as much as I had intended, but I've actually discovered some really cool places in Rhode Island that I will, as the weather gets warmer, definitely try and visit. But yeah, girl, get rid of this phone.
Yeah.
You can love it and not, but my one of the things I need to get rid of is these fucking 15 pounds. I've been talking about it. I don't care. I need to get rid of these 15 pounds. But in the same breath, I'm looking at these women on Ozempic or whatever dietary shots that they're taking now, and I came across a picture of Kelly Osbourne.
Mm.
Ma'am, let me pull up this picture, and I hope that you can see it clearly of what she looks like. Well, actually, they have like the before and after. I have two. So let me
Okay.
share this one.
Because Kelly Osbourne, daughter of Ozzy Osbourne, she used to be a very, ooh, she used to be she used to be a chunky girl. It was kind of cute on her actually. And then she lost, weight, and obviously she, struggled. I would say she struggled with her weight. I don't think I'm overstepping by saying she struggled with her weight. So that before picture even was like, okay, she had still
Losing
lost a
weight.
significant amount of weight, but that
Hmm.
picture on the right, ma'am,
It doesn't even look like her.
she looks like she's her mom's age.
She she does. She does. I mean, I don't know how old she is. I know she's young enough to be.
She's younger than me.
Yeah, I think she could be. Well, is she in her 40s? She has to be in her 40s. Because I was gonna say she's young
I want
enough
to
to
look it
be
up because I don't even
my
know if
daughter, but
she's.
I don't think so. I don't think she's in her 30s. I think she's in her 40s.
We gonna look this up because we need to know. And I know her dad just died, so
No, this
um.
is this is before her dad died.
Oh, was
This
it?
is before. This is okay. No, this article was written in December 10th, but this started in 2024 before her dad died.
Because she just got engaged, right?
Did she?
She
I don't know
she
anything about this woman's life.
she got engaged. And she looked fine at the engagement, which was like a few months ago. So
Really?
she was born in 1984. She's 41.
In that picture, she looks a good, I don't know, 55. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Here's another one too. I wish I could blow it up a little bit more too, because she is, look at this one.
Well,
And you
she
can
has
see,
some.
look at
Oh
her.
my gosh, she looks like a whole different person.
Mm-hmm.
And the lip injection. She actually on the right looks like a really good drag queen.
Exactly. Look at the bone
She
strap. I
looks
mean,
like
like,
she should be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
and you see just too many pictures like this, not just of like celebrities, but I'm noticing a lot in just regular people too. So I don't know what they're saying to their doctor, because I tried a couple of things and my doctor's like, bitch, fucking
So
exercise.
here's my thought process, right? I Ozempic, because I watch the commercials, because it's Ozempic, Monjaro,
Mhm.
Wegovy. There's
Yeah.
like a few different shots. They normally say that you can expect to lose 10 to 20%, I think, of your, because I did my research too. I think it's 10 to
Hmm.
20% of your body weight. That's more
Hmm.
than 10 to 20% of what she probably was before. So what I'm
Hmm.
thinking is, in addition to injections or whatever she's doing, she's the celebrities, I'm not going to just pinpoint Kelly, are probably doing other things. So what this is just pure speculation. I think what they're doing is they're using multiple weight loss methods, like layered with each other. So there's stuff you can do, like you can do a gastric bypass, you could do a gastric
Hmm.
sleeve, you can do there are different, I just said, I'm trying not to do that. That's another thing I'm trying to leave in 2025. There are a few different things you can do. So I think she may be doing, say, a stomach surgery and Ozempic, because that like doubles your impact. But she's got to be doing something more than just the injections.
I think I did read some years ago that she did do like the sleeve or the gastric bypass, whatever what. I think she did one of those like years ago, and she said it didn't take, or I mean, because it really is a mind change, because once
Mhm.
you have the sleeve or whatever, yeah, it might slow your eating down, but after a while you can stretch that out or blow it out
So
if you
I
just go
personally,
ahead
I've had surgery. I've had weight loss
and.
surgery, and I had it in
Mhm,
2008.
mhm.
I had the I said again. I had, what did I have? Lap band. I had lap band surgery in
Okay.
2008. and I lost
Hmm.
a significant amount of weight. And they discontinued doing that surgery. They don't really recommend doing lap band anymore because it required you to go back to the doctors and get a shot from the doctor to kind of like what they did was they basically put a band around your stomach, and then every 3 months you would go to the doctors and they would fill that band with saline water, salt water, and that band would constrict your stomach so that you couldn't eat as much. But that, I mean, that's a lot of maintenance and it takes a lot of, you know, the patient being able to actually go into the doctors and insurance and all that stuff. So I had a revision surgery when my doctor said, you know what, we suggest you do this revision surgery and get the sleeve. So I did that. As I also had the gastric sleeve. So in 2008, I can tell you it was a long process. It took months for me to get approved. I had to lose weight before I got my surgery, and I had to see a psychiatrist before I could have the surgery. Now I think that it's a little bit more lax and they're doing more surgeries without as much of the process in place. So I think people are getting weight loss medication without, all of this counseling that used to be available before.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I think it, and I think like what my doctor is saying too, and I'm not asking for Ozempic. I'm just saying, help me figure out
It
something
will make
because
you
I
lose that
know
15 real quick though.
I know, but I know mine is hormonal. I know it has to do with menopause.
Hmm.
The weight has come on because I am not an overeater. And I have scaled back. When I just used to have cake every single day. I don't know who the hell I thought I was, but I have scaled back. And also too, I'm just very more concerned about like the stuff that I'm putting in my mouth because when I go to the grocery store and I look and I see what things are made of, and you see like an ingredients list of like 17 things. Like, why should 17 things be in like ice cream? I mean, it's just ice cream. It should be maybe four, maybe five ingredients tops for anything, honestly. But everything is over processed, and that's a lot of the problem. And you notice the difference in Europeans in African countries or whatever, they don't have the processed foods that we do, and they have similar lifestyles. They're working and partying and doing the same things that we're doing, but they're walking more and their foods are not as processed.
Hmm.
So I understand it. So I am trying that, and I'm trying to scale back, but I know it's menopause. I know it's menopause.
It
So when
definitely
I
is.
said, yeah, when I say to my doctor, help me, that's what I'm talking about. I don't want Ozempic. I don't want to lose drastic amount of weight. I want to build up more muscle. I want to be healthier, but I don't want to be dependent on anything to keep me that way either. And that's my thing. So if she stops taking Ozempic, or if these people stop taking Ozempic, how are they looking like 2, 3 months from now?
You'll gain the weight back. That's like the studies have shown that if you don't make a change,
Mm-hmm.
but also you will just gain the weight back because what the injections are doing is they are stabilizing your blood sugars. They're putting your body's
Mm-hmm.
hormones where they should be, is what they're doing, as opposed to
Can I be
where they are.
hormone shot?
So are you seeing who are you seeing? Are you seeing a primary, a nutritionist, or a weight loss doctor?
Just my primary.
Yeah, get a referral and go to a weight loss clinic
Okay.
within your hospital. So when I say weight loss clinic, it should be a department within your hospital
Mm.
or your
I
your
was
clinic.
this girl on this woman, she's about my age, our age, and she showed her like workout routine and how she went from how she lost like 15 pounds. This woman looks so damn good. But I know that I'm not going to be in the fucking gym lifting up 25 pounds.
What about
I know
like
I did.
so for me, I know walking is the easiest exercise for me to do, and I know you walk a lot already.
I
But
walk a lot. So,
for me, that was like my body responds really well to that. You have to figure out what your body responds well to as
Mhm.
far as weight loss. And it might just be treadmill, it might be elliptical, it might be, and I know it's a pain in the ass. I don't like going to the gym personally. I'm not a person that's like, oh, I'm going to go work out. Like, I get the outfits and they are so cute. And that's what I try to motivate. But the only time I ever went to the gym consistently and lost weight, I did it as soon as I left work. I left work and I went
Mhm.
to the gym, and the gym was in the building where I worked. So I had to pass
Yeah.
by the gym, and I went with coworkers. So I found that that was the right combination for me to work out
Mhm.
at the gym. So we would work out together, and we did like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And we weren't doing anything crazy. It was like bike, and we'd sit next to each other and we'd be pedaling and talking to each other. Or maybe you need, put some headphones in and watch a show that you like, and maybe that show's 30 minutes or it's an hour or something like
Mhm.
that. That's the only, I literally cannot be thinking about exercise if I want to actually get any exercise done.
One of my goals is to keep a gym bag in the car because, like you said, me going to the gym, I don't mind it. And I get into a nice little roll and I'll go and then I'll stop. But I have to get back into that roll where I'm at least going at least 3 times a week. So, and one of the
Yeah.
things, what you gonna say?
Now I was gonna say
You
also
throwing out wisdom. Go ahead and keep
I
going.
wait, and before I forget too, girl, because menopause is fucking with me too. I also realized that working out, like exercise working out in the morning, I would be ravenous I would be so hungry. So working out at night for me was better because I was tired. All I wanted to do was come home, and I would try to eat
Hmm.
before I would work out, but if I had to eat after and after I came home, it would be a little bit of food because I've just worked out and I'm so tired. Really, all I want to do is lay down. So that was good for
Yeah.
me too, is working out in the evening.
See, I'm a working out in the morning person because I'm a morning person. I
Mm-hmm.
wake up on fucking 10. But so I work out better in the evening. I'm slowing down. I might be able to like crunch in like an hour and a half if I leave work and go straight to. And it's a mental thing too. But
Mm-hmm.
by like, because I don't like to eat like after 7 or 8 o'clock. So, and I remember Teresa was saying that she was doing intermittent fasting. So I said, I could try that 7 to 7, not because I don't eat after a certain time anyway. I'll try that along with the exercise. And I'm one of those people, I don't start on any specific day. Like, I'm like, oh, Monday I'm gonna start it. No, I fucking start it the next day. Because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something I want, why am I gonna wait? So it's something I've been starting slowly, but I just need to get back into the gym. And I got a gym partner. Darius has been like trying to get me to go to the gym with him
There you
all
go.
weekend.
There you go. And if you have,
Do it.
I think it's Planet
Do
Fitness, my son can take someone for free. Do you think any of us go with him? He can have someone for free with his membership. Noah goes to the gym 3 or 4 days a week. And actually, I don't know if you noticed when you've been seeing him, Noah has lost a significant amount of weight. He's lost like 20 pounds, but he's
I
also a
haven't seen him
guy.
since like the fall. The
He's
fall. I haven't
lost
seen him since the
a
fall.
significant amount of weight just from working out.
Good for him.
Yep.
So and he goes to Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
And he goes to the same one. I used to go to that one as well.
He goes to a couple of different ones around the city because they were remodeling one. So then he
Okay.
started going to another one. So he goes to a couple of different ones, but it's also because he has to take the bus to get there. So it's like between work, and he works, standing up, moving
Okay.
around. That's the other thing, is like when you have when you
Hmm.
achieve a certain level of success as a career person, you end up sitting down a
Hmm.
lot for work. And that's part of it too, is like it's these
Hmm.
jobs where you sit. So in order to make good, decent money, usually those jobs require a lot of sitting at a computer and things like that, and meetings virtually and whatnot. The lower paying jobs are the jobs where you end up walking around a lot, getting your body moving. And, you know, that's why a lot of those folks are in pretty good shape
Hmm.
when you go to like the grocery store, or you go to other places, CVS or whatever, and people are in good shape because they're lifting boxes, they're walking, they're moving, they're not sitting down a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
But
I'm gonna work on it.
I would say,
It's always gonna be a conflict.
the primary is going to tell you what they learned in medical school, which is not necessarily going to
Hmm.
apply to us. And I think we find this a lot when it comes to
Well, she's
science.
always telling me, she's like, because I know what you're saying. Because I hear a lot, especially a lot of Black women, their doctors are constantly telling them to lose weight. My doctor does not do that. She's like, you look fine, your heart healthy. These things are important. She's like, if it gets to a point where I'm seeing like, it's at a level that I don't think you should be, I would say something to you. I said, well, I'm just uncomfortable.
Hmm.
So I think she's good on that end, and I am blessed that I am heart healthy, even though I have crazy heart issues, but I am heart healthy, and I can't. I'm like, now I done said like 1,000 times since you just said it, and I just heard myself saying it. But so she is good. She is good like that, but a nutritionist might be able to help me a little bit more,
So I've
like you said.
seen my primary is very good. I've had my primary for a long time, and I actually was on a wait list for him. He's amazing. He did Doctors Without Borders. He did medicine in Africa, and
Mm,
he's a white man, but he is the most amazing primary that I could ever have. We have a really good relationship. He never tells me like, "Oh, you're overweight." He might say, "Hey, I see you gained," or "You're doing well. I see you lost," but he doesn't say like, "Oh my God, you whatever," because clinically by the medical books, I'm
yes.
obese. Yeah, by the medical standards, I am obese already.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not serve him well to be sitting in my face telling me I'm obese. He already knows that. So he does not do that. But what I'm saying is that there primaries are pretty much very limited. They're more general practitioners. The same thing with the nutritionist. You can see a nutritionist and they're going to be like, "Oh, you should eat a piece of chicken that's the size of
Okay.
a playing card. You should drink these proteins." So a nutritionist is good too. But
Bam.
if you really want results, find out where the weight loss or the weight management division of your clinic or hospital is. Talk to them. Because what they will do is put you on a scale that analyzes your muscle, your fat, and they will talk to you about your diet and what exactly you can do, if there's a medical remedy for it or if there's something that you can just do on your own. But I think you need that trinity. You need the nutritionist, your primary, and weight management to really find what's going to work for you. And I'll give you another example. A lot of people, like I know when growing up in the 70s and 80s, when people wanted to lose weight, their go-to was like, "Oh, I'm going to start eating yogurt," right? Yogurt, well, if I eat yogurt every day for a week, I will gain probably 5 to 10 pounds. Yogurt does not help me lose weight whatsoever. And I think it's just my body composition. Someone else might eat yogurt and that might be great for them. It doesn't work for me. So you have to
Hmm.
find the foods that actually work for you and help you to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't even like yogurt that much unless it has like
I
granola in
love
it. It has to have
yogurt. That's
something
the
with
problem.
more of the texture.
I love
No, I don't.
yogurt. I would eat it every
Hmm.
day, but I don't. But I did substitute it for cottage cheese, and I found that cottage cheese does not make me gain as much. And I like cottage cheese, so.
So really, I have to honestly, I have never really had cottage cheese. I look at the texture and I'm like, mm-mm. But I
So
haven't
there's
tried it.
whipped. You can get
So
whipped
I should try
cottage
it because
cheese.
I see a lot of
You can get the whipped one,
people.
and it's not as lumpy, but I actually like that little lumpiness in the cottage cheese. It's because
I
it's
think it's because it's
salty too.
white. It
Um,
yeah, no, I have not had it to say that, oh, I don't like it. I just in my head, I'm like, I don't like
oh,
it.
you
But
put a
it's
little
it's
bit
the way
of
it looks like.
put a little preserves on there, like some apricot preserves or some strawberry.
Hmm.
They even sell it together. It's not bad. And the
Hmm.
pineapple with some cottage cheese, love it.
Hmm. I'll try it. I know. All right. We'll get off of my like
If y'all have
my
any
fat ass losing
suggestions,
15.
if you have suggestions, if you had some success, maybe we need to just start going with Noah to the gym and watching whatever it is he's doing because my son is looking good
No, I
out
got a
here
whole daughter that goes to the gym and she's
and looks amazing.
consistent. And
Yeah, she
she's
looks
look,
great.
look, you know what? Let me stop saying I'm not. That's the problem. That's the problem. I need to start saying, yeah, you know what? I will.
Speak it into existence. And we're supposed to be
Speak it
walking
into
together. We made a plan to walk together over a year ago, and we never made it happen. So I also would like to take up
That's
bike
true.
riding. I wouldn't mind doing a little bike
Okay, let's do
riding.
that.
I don't own a
I
bike.
know. I just beautiful trail. I don't have a bike either. I have one.
Okay.
Let's get bikes for the spring and let's put that down. I'm
Okay.
dead.
We
That's
need to
the
tap
dead
into
serious.
our girl Robbie. Robbie owns a bike. I don't know if you heard the story about her bike,
Mhm.
but her and her boyfriend actually went and got
What
bikes
about her bike?
together. What's that?
Uh-huh.
But
So why
yeah,
do we need to tap into her
cause she know she bought her and
to
her
get
boyfriend
the
bought
bike
bikes.
that she got?
Well, she could tell us, like, they gave them the place she went to, they gave them lessons in the parking lot. They were showing them, like, all the things. It wasn't like you go to Walmart, you
Mm-hmm.
buy a bike, and they're just like, here's the bike, deal with it. Like, they actually taught you how to maintain the bike and all that good stuff. So I was like,
Oh,
maybe that's
we
it.
got quite a few good bike shops here that will probably,
Yeah,
I don't know if they do that, but we definitely have some really good bike shops. There's two that I know of. And I'm not trying to spend crazy money on a bike because I know a person that spent over $1,000 on his bike and he is not doing that.
that part. Well, what about like
And he goes
bikes
bike
not
riding.
bombs?
Hi.
What is that? Bikes not bombs? Is that like a place you can buy bikes and it like contributes to the kids, or the kids make the bikes? Let's look that up.
Oh, I don't know.
That's in
Oh,
Massachusetts. It's in
but I mean,
Boston.
definitely, I would definitely do it this spring. I know some really good trails. I know some really good bike trails that I've
That's the thing. I need
just
to be
discovered
away
over
from
the last
cars.
like summer.
I need to be away from motor vehicles when I'm
I
riding
know
my
some
bike
really good
because I
ones.
don't trust myself. I'm not trying to ride in the city.
Me either. Mm-mm, I don't want to ride on the street. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it with a helmet. Not doing it at all. So anyway, so let's do that. That will be one of
Bikes.
our goals. Go
Let's
bike riding in the
go.
spring. So another thing that I'm saying goodbye to that I actually did yesterday is I said goodbye to Amazon. Did not renew my Amazon subscription.
Go ahead, girl.
Took a while. Well, I was waiting for it to end anyway. I don't think I will suffer because I hadn't really been ordering from Amazon. I think Mia will suffer greatly. I wonder if she's gonna go for
So,
it. But yep, I finally got
yeah.
rid of Amazon.
I don't know if I could fully get rid. I, I will aspire to get away from Amazon, and but maybe if we consolidate and we only have one subscription in the whole house, that's a step forward instead of all of us being on Prime, because I think a couple of us are on Prime. So maybe if we just whittle it down to one Prime subscription, that's a financial loss for
Yeah,
them. I'll see. Yeah,
that is. I
but
mean,
honestly,
I
there's
feel like
not much.
a lot of the things that I
Go
was just
ahead.
not ordering that much. I had
I
really, once I got rid of Target, I got rid of Amazon.
I'm just thinking there's not much I
Is
can't get
there
on
the
Walmart, which is already a devil as well. I'm like, there's not much I can't get
mm-mm,
there that I can get on Amazon. So maybe I need to just cut one and I get the Walmart Plus for free. So maybe it's just time to, like you said, just
mm-hmm.
say Avita saying to Amazon.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah,
That's a big one.
it's we'll see. Like I said, there's there's Lowe's down the street from me. I try not to do Walmart as much because they're still effed up as well, donating as much as they do to the Republican Party. But, there are other places I can get my cleaning supplies, which I'm like kind of branching out. And then also too, I still don't want to be in the habit of always ordering and having it delivered to the house. Get
Yeah.
your ass up and go places.
Yeah,
So,
agree.
yeah, that was the biggest thing. Go
So
ahead. What's your other?
So some other goodbyes is again, it follows along that same line of, okay, let's stop contributing to these companies that are really not doing. Then not only are they not serving us, but they are serving the opposition. So I already got rid of Waze, which I'm suffering because Waze to me is better than Maps.
Mhm.
I don't care what you and Mia say. I need to know
I
when the
know
cops
you had me get rid of it.
I need to know when the cops are up the street, and right now I'm not getting that information from Maps. And I think as a black person in
Mhm,
America, e- even though Waze, we're understanding that the person who owns and operates Waze is he's a bad actor and not only contributing to conservatism but also to war efforts, which we don't want to contribute to. Knowing where the police are in advance is that's vital information as a black American. And I missed that information. I was on the way to the store earlier today and I we saw four state troopers and I had no warning that they were out there. Now, obviously, people will say, well, if you're driving the way you're supposed to be driving, what does it matter? It does matter.
mhm,
Because if I'm doing 75 and a 60, which I
mhm,
often do, I need to know if I can slow down.
mhm.
And also, it just
Yeah.
helps you mentally prepare like, oh, the police are up ahead. Let me chill out. Let me put my phone down, even though I'm not supposed to be touching it when I'm driving.
Mhm.
All the things. It really helps. So it's like the lesser of the two evils. So maybe I'll just like add a little note to Maps and Google Maps and Apple Maps and be like, hey, can you guys add this police feature because we really do need it. I need that in my life. But that
And
Wendy's. Hmm? I was gonna say
there's no
Wendy's.
other
Oh, other
app
app.
that does it.
I don't know. I'd have to look into it. There might be.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But okay, why Wendy's?
Well, Wendy's is another one. They're Trumpers as well. And I really cut back on my Wendy's, but lately I've been in the area where Wendy's is, and I'm like, oh, nothing else is open.
Mhm.
So, but it's just Wendy's, Taco Bell. I deleting all those apps off my phone because that's the distraction is when it's like, oh well, it's just convenient, and then they'll pop up a little coupon. Oh, we have this new meal or whatever. So all of those I cut back on, but I did cut back a lot. McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell. I think KFC is part of that crew too. Those are all contributors to the Republican Party. So I was like, oh, they got to go.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many doggone of these companies, and they really need to suffer with us pulling back our money because that's the only way. But as a whole, the way that these corporations have a chokehold on our politicians and how things are run here, again, 2026, you have to get involved in something because none of these people have your best interests at
Hmm.
heart at all. Not the
Yeah.
people that you're voting for. Well, we're constantly voting for the same people, and there is a Republicans and Democrats are different. I cannot stand that argument where they're both the same. They are not. One wants to take away your absolute civil rights, and the other, yeah, they want you to have your civil rights, but then they want to make bank too. I'd rather go with that one. I'd rather go with the one that is least going to keep me and my rights intact. But so stop saying that. So there is so much that we have to do, but we really have to start going after these corporations. And we need to start going after our politicians who say that they don't want to tax these people in these corporations because there's no way in the world that you can come from South Africa and we got two billionaires from South Africa who don't want to pay taxes in this country but reap the benefits of this country. And then you
Hmm.
want to look at somebody who's way, 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 way behind you on welfare. No, you go after those welfare queens that are from another country since you hate foreigners so much.
Yep.
Dummies.
Yeah.
We are so
They
fucking
only hate
dumb.
select foreigners. You know what that's all about. You know. But
So I mean, do you have another one? Because I think that's it for me. I think that's it for
this
me.
is
What do
okay.
you got another one?
This is kind
'Cause I
of,
have a list.
I don't know if it's tough for me or not, but I do want to, I want to leave hateful gossip behind me. And when I say hateful gossip, it's like not necessarily that I'm starting the hateful gossip, but the participation in hateful
Mhm.
gossip. So if someone starts up a
Oh,
conversation about someone that's negative and baseless and just nasty, I'm doing my best to step away from that, and just remove myself from the conversation. I was looking at something online where the singer Money Long was saying that she was in the studio with a rapper. I want to say it was Big Sean. It was another rapper that she was in the studio with. Maybe it was J. Cole. And someone started speaking negatively about someone in their
oh.
musical circle. And J. Cole just got his stuff and he just left. He just Irish goodbye the whole situation. He removed himself. So I'm not necessarily here to judge people who are, what can be considered gossiping or talking poorly about other people. But what I'm going to do is try to remove myself from those conversations. Now, celebrities, if you're living your life publicly, to me, you're kind of up for grabs. Whether Shahida and I are going to talk about you on this podcast, but I'm talking about people in my everyday life. Like, don't call me with the bullshit. I'm just putting a public service announcement out there right now. Like, don't call me trying to stir no shit up about anybody. I'm not here for it in 2026. I got bigger fish to fry, better things to do. And it doesn't help. We need to be standing together, not pulling apart by, being nasty and being divisive and gatekeeping each other. I'm trying to uplift the people. And that's gonna be part of it. So
I think that is a lofty goal, and I'm right there with you as all of what you said. Me personally, I think I noticed that for myself a few years ago because I might not like somebody. I might not like somebody, and somebody else might say something, and I might get a little too gleeful on, them. But then at the end of the day, I feel like it doesn't bring me any real joy, to talk about somebody behind their back because sometimes there are situations. Now I can just dislike you and that can be a comment, but I can respect you as well. And respecting you and not by not talking about you to others, to me, it's almost a respect for myself more than anything.
mhm.
I don't want to get involved in that pettiness. There's just too much going on in the world and it's just unnecessary. So I get it and I love that. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of we're all like I think everyone's guilty.
So back to what Tracy was saying, as you see, I had to run and get some headphones because my sound on my side was not working great. But back to what you were saying is, and it's, I don't know about the Bible, but the Quran actually talks about
Hmm.
talking about people behind their backs, or it's almost like it's not a big sin, but it's sinful. And actually, I can see the reality in that, because it kind of lowers you as a person. Now, there's times that you talk about people and it's funny and it's, whatever, but it's not malicious. It's when it becomes malicious. That's when it's an issue. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. And you know how you get signs from the universe and it's you keep
Hmm.
hearing the same thing and you're saying, okay, this is a message for me. So I heard that Money Long thing with J. Cole. And then I also heard Erica Alexander talk about it on her podcast, Reliving Single with Kim Coles. And
Hmm.
Kim Coles is older. I don't know if you were aware of that, but the Living Single cast, most of them were around the same age. But Kim Coles was older and Erica Alexander was younger. And then the
Hmm.
other ones were somewhere in between those ages. And I think Kim Coles is 8 years older than Erica Alexander. And one day on the set of Living Single, she came to Erica with some tea. And Erica said, I'm going to stop you right there, but I don't participate in gossip. And she was like 20 something years old. She was young. And
Mm-hmm.
she told this woman 8 years older than her that, I'm just going to stop you right now because I don't do that. It wasn't a judgment. It was just like, I'm not the one. And I was like, wow, that is so admirable. And I
Mm-hmm.
learned, I got a little lesson from that conversation and the money long one. So I said, I'm going to try to do better in 2026, myself
Mm-hmm.
personally. Because sometimes, everyone's like, oh, spill the tea. We want to hear the tea, girl. What was the tea, girl?
Mm-hmm.
I got some tea for you. And it's like, I do want to hear it, but also I don't want to hear it now. So
But then
I'm
it's
going to do
also
better.
when it is, like I said, malicious intent.
That
Sometimes
part.
spilling the tea is just telling information about a situation. It doesn't necessarily mean like I feel one of the things I try never to do is gossip about a person's relationship or marriage.
Mm,
Um, something I learned, when I was much younger too, and I think it was something my mom had told me. So I've always felt that there were different levels to gossip. Like I'm not
mm-hmm.
going to gossip about, your marriage, And one, I didn't like it when people gossip about my marriage when it was, ugh. And then you found out everybody knew things that you didn't. That was hurtful. But yeah, so I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? That falls with what's her name? Erica.
Mm-hmm.
That's in
Alexander.
line with who she has always kind of been. You always got that vibe from her that she was just a little bit more mature, even though her character was wild and crazy. That's not how she represented herself when she was
Yeah.
like in interviews or anything. So that kind of goes. I get it.
Yeah.
And just because somebody's older don't mean they're wiser.
That part. And like you said, it's lofty. Am I gonna get it, nail it? I don't think I speak maliciously about people in general, but
Hmm.
sometimes you bonded with someone over some shit you were talking about somebody else about. And so
Hmm.
next every time you see that person, that's your bond. That's like the thing you
Hmm.
bond over is talking shit about somebody else. And I'm like,
Hmm.
that's not good. And I
That's
don't need
not a
to
good
bring
bind.
no, it's not. And
Hmm.
it makes you want to reevaluate your connection and relationship with that other
Hmm.
person. If like that's what you guys bond on, what else
Hmm.
can you what else can you bond over that's not hurting someone else or
Hmm.
being rude about somebody behind their back, like you said. So, that's a lot. That's gonna take some growth and it's going to
Hmm.
take and people might even say, who the fuck does Tracy think she is? We've been gossiping together for years, but that it is what it is. I'm putting
Hmm.
it out there in the atmosphere. So yeah, I think that's something that I'm going to work on. I wouldn't say
Hmm.
it's a resolution or anything like that, but it's something that I am going to work on.
Okay. I I'm trying to think because no, I agree with you and I would work on that one too, but I feel like I have been kind of in that trying that for a good long while. I don't know when I made that revelation about myself that I didn't want to, but I still do. But I'll make a more conscious effort. I feel like that's laudable. I love it. One of the things I feel like I will, which is crazy, is I will try not to be so fucking sensitive. I am extremely sensitive. I don't know why. Always been. And I talk my kids are sensitive. We're all fucking sensitive bitches over here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I don't and
try and be a little cooler about being so sensitive.
yeah. Well, I think
Mhm.
we need sensitive people in the world. I don't consider myself sensitive. Um But I said, again. Uh, uh, baby. Uh, I don't know what it's like to be super sensitive, but I know it's not easy for people who
Mhm.
are sensitive. So I try to give grace in that area because it must be hard, honestly, to be so sensitive because if your feelings can be hurt easily or if your emotions can be triggered so easily, that's a lot. That's a lot of overstimulation. So I
Mhm.
can't imagine what it's like.
Yeah, lucky you.
Yeah.
because, and I'm not as sensitive as when I was younger, which is not saying a whole fucking lot, really. I mean, it really is. It's not saying a whole lot, but I am very sensitive, and I noticed that all three of my children are extremely sensitive too. So if that's one of those bad features, they got that from their mama. They got it from
What
their
are you gonna
mama.
do? What things are you going to do to work on that?
So I think it's like you said, it's not bad being sensitive, but it's bad being sensitive when you can't say to the person, instead of like spiraling about it and saying, look, that hurt my feelings, or look, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z, or, I don't know if you intended to say it like this, but, I might need a little bit of clarification. Whereas I will let it spiral. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, ooh, I did not react very well, and I could have done that differently. And it's all because at that moment my feelings are just hurt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So now just like maybe take a moment and breathe and be like, and then it's my what usually stops me from really going crazy is like especially if it's like somebody in my family. This person loves you. And yeah, they might be saying this and this might hurt your feelings, but this person loves you. So all you have to do is tell that person that that bothered me. And so if I do more like that, then I'm fine. But I have like stopped friendships over my sensitivity
Yeah. I think and
recently.
that's a big deal. Oh, she said recently. No,
And I
that's a big
know.
deal. That's a
Hmm.
big deal. And I think that you should work on those exercises and speaking to people because I find that sometimes people are not aware of the things that they do to hurt
Right.
other people because
Hmm.
that's their norm that they're used
Hmm.
to. So everyone's rotating and orbiting around each other in their own little worlds and it's based on everything from the moment they were born up until the moment where you have
Hmm.
that interaction. So someone like me, who I grew up with, my mom and grandmother were tough as nails, so I'm
Hmm.
a pretty tough person when it comes to things, and I'll be like, you know what, water off a duck's back, moving right along, we're just gonna
Hmm.
chug straight through. And I can forget some things quickly,
Hmm.
I can do that, but other people don't have that option. So I think telling people your feelings, maybe taking a beat if you feel like you need it, but maybe even saying in that moment like, hey, you probably didn't mean for it to come off that way, but this is how I received it. And
Hmm.
yeah, instead of losing a friendship that might be a good friendship, or maybe it wasn't, maybe it needed to be left behind, but I think it would help you to tell people the things that they do that might bother you.
Yeah. It probably would. I,
Because I
you
know
know.
I would make an effort. Like if you told me that I was doing something that bothered you, I would try to make an effort not to do that
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm. Let me think. Well, the thing that does bother me about you is the fucking gossiping. No,
You talk too much shit, bitch. That's why I'm working on it.
right
I
now,
will say
no.
you have not in the past been a good gossip buddy because you don't gossip.
I'm glad. I literally be trying, girl. I really do, and that's really
You're
something.
not the person I'd be like, girl, I got this piping hot tea for you. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually good. I
Yeah.
don't need all friends that want to spill tea or hear tea.
Hmm.
We do celebrity tea and that's fun for us. So
I think I have like told you when something has hurt me though, or bothered me. I
I
think.
think so. I think
I think because
so.
it's not like a lot, but I think I have said, oh, this kind of bothered me, and you talked me down off a ledge a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Not recently, but I that has happened. So again,
Yeah.
like I said, I understand that I can be a little overly sensitive, so I try
But
to
that might,
reel it in.
on that same token, some people could stand to be more sensitive. I know personally, there are times I could stand to be more sensitive too. You know what I mean? So maybe sometimes I'm too too callous or too tough sometimes.
Hmm.
So sometimes I need that reminder, like, hey, you could be a little more sensitive. Even if you see me engaging with someone else in a way that you think is like, that's not cool. I would like people to pull me to the side and be like, girl, I don't think that that was cool what you did. I'm actually trying to mentally prepare myself to receive that kind of feedback in 2026.
Okay. I'll be on the lookout. I don't think I've run into any incidences like I can that I thought. I know sometimes that you have told me a story and I'll be like, "Ooh."
Yeah. But
I'm
I
like,
love
"Ooh,
to tell
that's what you said.
I love to
That's what you
tell
said."
not tell stories, but I like to, like, if I have something interesting to share, I'm like, oh my God, this is so interesting. Like, I just feel like sometimes I want to share.
But I mean, no, but I appreciate that. No, but I'm just saying sometimes when you're retelling it, that I'm thinking, oh, that was kind of harsh how you reacted. But I'm just
Mm.
like, oh, okay, but
Yeah, possibly. Because, like I said,
eh,
sometimes I can be a little,
but on
yeah.
the whole, I don't see that. I don't see that side of you that I
I'm
thought
trying to
think
do
it's
better. I'm trying
as
to
being
evolve,
callous.
trying to
Hmm.
evolve and mature in my, my latter years.
Well, you know what? Uh, a good representation of that is that if your children think that you're callous, then you probably are. But if they don't feel
Mm.
that and they don't get that, then you probably aren't. Because like again, I don't get that either.
My youngest is the hardest on me when it comes to my what he perceives as my behavior. So my daughter's a lot like me, so she almost always agrees with my behavior and the things that I do. We are very much alike. My
Mm-hmm.
middle child kind of he's just like is like, mom is who she is. My younger son, especially when he was younger, that boy
Hmm.
would read me for filth about like any like especially if I was gossiping or something like that. He did not like
Hmm.
that. He did not
Okay.
like to hear me talking about other people, and he would call me out on it when
That's
he was
dang.
little. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like you always have a child who is your mirror,
Mhm. Oh yeah, me and
you
my
know?
daughter like this.
And we're like that too, but she's my mirror and she'll call me out on my bullshit though.
Mhm.
Where my boys will not. My
Yeah.
boys won't. So that's
Yeah.
funny. Oh,
It
all
is funny.
right.
It's good though. It is good. And I received it. I never was like, mind your business or shut up or anything. I was like,
Yeah.
oh damn, this 8-year-old really like called me called
Hmm.
me out on something. So yeah, doing my best.
And I was
Oh
just like, I can't believe that you thought all this time.
no, I've been in that situation where I've heard things about
Mhm.
myself that are so preposterous and so untrue, and but I've heard so many things about myself that are
Mhm.
completely false, and I'm like, wow, people really have walked around for
That's
years
that's what I'm
believing this
saying. Who else?
thing about me. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's interesting, and I used to get upset about it and then
Hmm.
be like, I gotta clear my name. And then later I realized I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let people believe what they want about me.
I would be shocked if people thought like bad things about me because I'm like the nicest damn
It's
person.
not even necessarily bad things. Like I'll give you an example, right?
Okay.
My own cousin thought that I was in a relationship with Martin Lawrence. Have I ever told you this story? The
Okay,
actor.
please tell
The
the story.
actor.
I know, I'm
Martin
dying to know
Lawrence.
now.
And I
How?
blame I blame social media for some of these misrepresentations. So my daughter, again, a clown like her mother, put
Uh-huh.
she put a comment under a picture that I took a picture with Martin Lawrence. We took a
Mhm.
photo together. My daughter put my mom and my new stepdad, Martin Lawrence. My cousin saw this on Facebook, and several years later, like maybe 3 whole years later, brought it up to me like, are you still dating Martin? Excuse me? I never dated Martin
That
Lawrence. What are you talking
is
about?
hilarious.
Really, I was like, I'm impressed that you thought I could pull an A-list celebrity like Martin Lawrence, but no, never was with that man. We took a photo at one of his comedy shows together. And then another thing I heard about myself is that I'm a casting director. Someone called me and was like, I'm trying to cast for an independent film that I'm making. I know you work in casting. I'm like, I don't. I don't know where you got that from. But all the weird stories that have come back to me they're all good things. They're positive things if they were true.
Yeah, I mean, like that can't be too bad. I mean, as I don't think I've ever heard any story about myself where I was like, no, except for
Oh,
that
I've
one.
only heard one
Um,
bad story about myself through the
what was it?
grapevine.
Oh.
So, someone who has known me since I was a teenager and hadn't seen me for a very long time saw me earlier, was it earlier this year? Last year, and told someone else that I bleach my skin because they think I was darker when I was younger.
But you could really tell people who bleach
I'm
their
like,
skin.
I don't do
I,
that. I don't
no.
bleach my skin. This is my
Mm,
complexion. But
mm-hmm.
that was what was said to someone else, and they came back and told me about it. I was like, okay, again, don't feel the need to
Mm,
clear. I'm not gonna approach anybody about it. I'm not even mad about it. I find it hilarious, actually,
mm-hmm.
because I traveled a lot when I was younger, and I went to Honduras a lot when I was younger, and I would be there for 3 or 4 months at a time. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I was darker because I was on
Mm-hmm.
vacation for 3 months in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come back to the USA where we have winter for 6 months out of the year practically. And I'm not getting as much sun as I used to get when I was a teenager, but don't bleach my
Yeah,
skin.
because everybody's a little lighter in the wintertime than they are in
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
But I
okay, that's
also
fine. I hadn't heard
tan
that
like
before.
baby. I must throw a couple babies in there from the. I tan very well. Your girl gets
Mm-hmm.
chocolate. So
And I'm already chocolate and I get more chocolate. I haven't I don't feel like the sun has been as like I noticed like this summer I wasn't as dark as I normally get. I'm like I was out, but I wasn't out at the beach. I feel like when I'm at the beach and I'm in water, that's when it is. I'm just
yeah.
this color at the end of the
Yeah.
summer. But so well, I guess that wrapped up. There's I do have the things that's going on for New Year's Eve for Rhode Island or for
Ooh,
Providence
let's
because
hear it.
we won't be here. But they have the fireworks, the Illuminate PVD. They're gonna have food trucks and everything down there at the pedestrian bridge. They're gonna have a light show and stuff for kids to do, and that's from 5 to 9. They have a family New Year's Eve party at United States of America. There's going to be free pizza all night long. Um, they're going to have, I think, what is it? What's the character from the movie? What's his name? Screech? Is it Screech? Whatever. One of those Disney characters. They're gonna have some Disney characters there as well, and that's from 5:30 to 9:30 for families. And I would get your ticket online if you're planning to go because it looks like it's selling out pretty quickly. Then there's the New Year's Eve bonfire at Ninigret Park in Charlestown. That's from 4:30 to 7. That sounds fun. There's a New Year's Eve did I say New York when
No,
I
you
said
said
New
New
York
Year's.
bonfire? Did I say New Year's Eve?
I
Okay.
heard New
I'm like
Year's
now I got
Eve.
New York in my head. Um okay, good, good. There's a New Year's Eve dance party at Bally's in Lincoln, the casino. And so they're doing a 90s 2000 theme party. So, come dressed in the 90s and the 2000s. The prices start at 199, but that's with the party and a three-course dinner. Then if you just want the party, it's $69. There's also a fireworks in Warwick as well. But those are the only things that I have that's going on for New Year's Eve. But I'm quite sure like there's quite a few things I didn't even get to look at Boston. I know that they have their normal at I was going to say Codman Square.
Well, first night,
I mean Codman Square might have something,
Common
but
Square might be
I'm talking about
popping.
Boston Commons.
Yeah, first night is big.
So,
So what else goes on in Boston? There's a lot. I mean, if you just go out in the city, Back Bay, you'll see a lot going
mhm,
on in Boston. I personally will be at Urban Escape on the Cape starting tomorrow through New Year's Day.
mhm,
It's a 3-day event of activities put on by Nine Alarms and the other crew from the Heat 98.1 radio station. I hope I got that call number right. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm running off fumes myself, but it's gonna be fun. Teddy Riley will be there, the comic Pierre. Shout outs to Danger and Robbie for helping get this thing off the ground and making it a success every single year. So that's what I'll be up to.
okay. All right. So, with that, I would say have a great week. Have a great New Year's Eve, a very safe New Year's Eve, a great New Year's Day, and we will see
Hmm.
you. So we will be back on what's the calendar? Not quite next week. We're taking next week off because I'm
But
taking
we'll
next
we'll
week
have some
off.
updates
But
for you all.
we'll be back after that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we'll
Yep,
we'll be
and it's going
celebrating
to be a
our
very interesting January.
we'll be celebrating our 3-year anniversary on Martin Luther King Day.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely have an episode
Mm-hmm.
for you in and around MLK Junior
Then.
Day. In between then, now and then, Shahida will be celebrating a birthday. So feel free to shout her out on socials. You know where to find us if
Mm,
you do want to find us
or
on
not.
socials. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. You can watch our episodes on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are seen and heard. But still, and especially the biggest thing we're leaving behind in 2026 is what, Shahida? What are we leaving behind? What social platform are we leaving behind in 2026?
And I'm not going to say it next year. I'm not going to say it anymore because
Okay,
you
this
should
is the
know.
last
You will
one.
not find us. This is it. This is it. You will not find us on the TikTok, the Clock channel, the GOP oppressed channel. You will not find us there. We're done. But you will find me on Facebook because I did rejoin Facebook and I will participate more.
She's active, y'all. She's
So we'll
active on
see.
there.
I'm trying to be. I've been looking. I've been looking at what y'all been doing over there.
So
Y'all are wild
until
over there.
Uh, r- yep. Facebook is for the aunties and it's popping over there.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, happy new year. Like Sheeta said, have safe, happy new year, holiday celebration time with friends, time to yourself, whatever it is. If you come up with a resolution, try to set goals so you can actually stick to it. And that's it.
Peace out. Happy 2006. Goodbye.